Hello, my name is Reverend Godwin Abba, Senior Pastor of Word Life Center International, Gwarepa, Abuja. We're going to be looking at a subject, very, very sensitive subject and very important subject to family, to career, to ministry, and even to governance. And it is called leadership. If you go through scriptures, to be precise, in the book of Matthew chapter 15, verse 14, the Bible speaking, it says, let them alone. They are blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind leads the blind, both will fall into a ditch. Now take note. It said they are blind leaders leading the blind. If the blind leads the blind, the both will fall into ditches. In other words, there is no future for a blind leadership, or there is no future for an organization or an institution whose leader is blind. Now, when we talk about blind leadership or blind leaders, we're not talking about physical blindness. We're talking about leadership that lacks vision, leadership that lacks purpose, leadership that lacks direction. Where there is no vision, the Bible speaking in Proverbs 29 verse 18, it said the people perish. So what sustains and gives life in any organization? What sustains and gives life to any institution? It is simply the visibility in direction, the visibility of operation, and the visibility in communication by the leader or the leadership. So leadership plays a vital role in life. It was John Maxwell that said that everything rises and falls on leadership. If an organization is going to rise, it's going to be based on the strength and the quality of leader or leadership that they have. If an organization fails, don't blame the followers. Don't blame anything about the organization, but blame leadership. When good leadership steps into a bad organization, they transform everything, in, out, and out, in. And when bad leadership falls or gets into an organization, no matter how thriving the organization was, they are bound to fail. Because every organization follows the leaders. So we have different types of leadership. Number one is the autocratic kind of leadership. Autocratic kind of leadership. This is a leadership where one person makes all the decisions. If it's in a family, the man never carries anybody along, not even the wife. In some families where you have this kind of leadership, the wife is scared of the husband. The children are afraid of their father. Learned of a story of a person, a man, whom the moment the wife and the children hear the sound of his car driving into the compound, everybody runs into hiding. I tell you the truth. The wife dodges into her bedroom, the children run into any other place. And in case the father comes in unawares, everybody will duck, some under the table, some into the kitchen, and everywhere. Autocratic kind of leadership. This is the kind of leadership in an organization where the leader listens to nobody. The leader here knows it all, and so makes all the decisions, and then forces it down the throat of the people. Wherever autocratic kind of leadership begins to take place, the people there grumble, those who work in the organization. They murmur, they complain. They are embittered, they are angry, and they are discouraged. To such a place, because the man lacks, or the woman, the leader there, lacks vision, they think that the people fearing them is a sign of authority. No, it's actually autocracy. And such does not help in any organization at all. The second kind of leadership is transactional leadership. Transactional leadership. This is the kind of leadership that is focused on task. In other words, you cannot achieve anything until you deliver something. The leaders here are not concerned about the welfare of the people. The leaders are not concerned about the growth of the people. What the leaders are concerned about is the results. Transactional orientation. You can't benefit anything until you give something. Generally speaking, this may not be wrong, because definitely you don't expect to get anything anywhere until you put in something. That's what we call the transactional or contributional principle. transactional or contributional principle. What that states is this: you cannot get the best from anywhere until you have put your best into that place. You don't expect to eat where you have not planted. Are you understanding right now? So your result or your benefit is based on your inputs. If your input is low, then your benefit will be low. Transactional and contributional kind of principle. To a certain extent, is good. But also, if that becomes the main focus and not the development of the people, it also becomes wrong. So we have transactional kind of leadership. It is tied to what you bring to the table. It is tied to what you can deliver. And with such kind of leadership, there may be results, physically speaking, but the people in there may not grow and they may not develop themselves. And if it becomes so, it means you've not helped the people at all. Here, the leader is goal-oriented, expectation-oriented, and result-driven. The third kind of leadership we're going to be looking at is called the servant leadership. This is where the leader leads by example. And this is one of the best quality of leaders or leadership that everybody should be striving for. Either you're a follower or you're a leader already. Your goal should be on how to lead by example. In certain parts of the world, particularly in the African continent, it's very rare to see exemplary or servant kind of leadership or leaders. Servant leaders are those who serve the people to show the people how to serve the next generation. We also have the situational leadership, circumstantial leadership. I remember when I got into ministry, I was not prepared to be a pastor. I didn't dream becoming a pastor. Even when I was told that I was going to be a pastor, I remember fighting against it. And then somehow, situation took place. And the pastor was under them, went to be with the Lord. And they needed a leader. I wasn't the best among the people that they left behind. I was not the most educated. I was not the most qualified. In short, I was not even prepared for leadership. But somehow the mantle of pastoral or pastoring that commission came on me. Bam! Once I got into ministry, I wasn't ready. It was never my intention to be a pastor, I'll tell you the truth. I wanted to study law and then later join the army. But somehow I just got into ministry. Situationally. My pastor then went to be with the Lord. So the mantle fell on me. And I've been in ministry from that time to today, into tomorrow. And I'm glad that God called me into ministry. What happened? Situation happened. And I was a kind of absorbed into leadership. This is where, in leadership, the leader does everything they can to make sure that no situation goes off end. Everything is under control for the advancement and the progress of the organization. No fear, no timidity, no opting out when the situation is bad. You stay in right there. So you realize that in leadership, when the leaders become blind, leading blind people, they will all crash. But when the leader has a sense of direction and the vision to direct the people, definitely they will succeed. I don't know what kind of leader you are, but I want to believe that out of these leadership styles or types that we have, you fall into the best. In case you don't know, remember this. We have the transformational leadership, transactional leadership, we have the autocratic kind of leadership, the democratic kind of leadership, we have the situation type of leadership, and then we have the servant leadership. Where do you fall into? Today, make up your mind to be a leader, but not a blind one. Become a visionary leader. My name, once again, is Reverend Godwin Abba, Senior Pastor of World Life Center International, Gwarimpa, Abuja, Nigeria. See you in our next episode. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye for now.